Hi guys. All right. Good evening. My last call tonight is at 10:15, so I have a few moments to talk to you, and I am going to share something that I think would be very helpful for those of you that are trying to manifest an SP back. So, hope you're listening. I would like to ask for whoever tunes in, and I know I'm going to give you guys a little time to join and what have you. But what I'd like to ask for those of you that tune in, it's a very simple question. How many of you are trying to manifest an SP back that originally, when you guys first met, it was amazing? Okay? So when you first met, it was amazing. And that's the reason you are trying to manifest your SP back, because obviously this person has woken something up in you, and you're trying to recapture the essence of when you first met. Because a lot of folks come to me when they're looking to manifest an SP, and if you don't have a relationship, it's one thing. If you're trying to recapture a relationship, if you had their attention at first and it seemed to have waned, whatever the case may be, how many of you are familiar with that sensation and are trying to recapture that feeling? Yeah? So, as promised, I told you I would tell you a story of someone whom I'm extremely proud of that was working with me. So, here goes, okay? The reason that I work with feeling as the secret. Now, I'm not saying it's the only way to manifest. Just for me, it used to be the fastest way to manifest, okay? So the reason when you work with me and you've already had a specific experience that you're trying to recapture, the only thing I tell you to do, and I don't tell you why, and I don't give you the reason, and I'm very, very, very specific on the instructions, and then I don't tell you why. But you're supposed to do the work, okay? So the work is for about 5 minutes, no more than 15 minutes a day. You are to recapture the feelings and remember this person in reverse. So you are to recapture the feeling of when you first met. Okay? If you are attempting to bring someone back, if their attention has gone away where you first had it and now you feel like you screwed it up somehow and you want this back, the reason that I tell you to work on this no more than 15 minutes a day. Okay? First and foremost, I tell you 15 minutes for one reason. I want to use the law of reverse effort. I do not want to make this difficult for you. So, unlike other coaches that are telling you to manifest by repetition like a crazy parrot, right? Okay, unlike those coaches, I'm making it easier. I'm saying no more than 15 minutes, and then I don't tell you why. There is a reason for that. Okay? The reason I don't tell you why I'm asking you to do this, I'm only telling you to practice it. It's very simple. You see, your brain is designed for comfort. Okay? It is absolutely designed for comfort. That is all it wants, is your comfort and your well-being. So, if you're trying to recapture the essence of someone when you first met, you want to remember them in reverse because you want to capture the feeling of that energy and make it your normal. Okay? The reason you want to do this, and the reason I don't tell you why, is because at first you will practice it. You will practice it and you will practice it. And then you'll say to me, Sin, it doesn't look like anything's happening. I don't understand. What's going on? Usually at that point, that's when you've stopped. You give up because you feel as if nothing's happening. That is by design too. That's why I don't tell you why I asked you to do it. Okay? All right. So that process allows you to let go. All right? Now, what happens after that is you enter the state. And the reason you were supposed to make that your normal is eventually you enter the state you're desired as soon as you let it go. Remember the law of circulation? You have to let go of your desire in order to receive it. It's very simple, okay? I cannot want something and have it at the same time. That's ridiculous. Okay? I'm trying to convince my brain that I already have it. So by focusing on desire and wanting it, I'm doing the exact opposite of what I'm supposed to do, which is convince my brain that I already have it. Make sense? Because if I had it, I would be vibing at that level. And as such, I'm certainly not desiring what I already have. That would be like, hey, Sin, can you make your eyes like light brown? Can you show me how to do that? Yeah, it's how they are. It's how my eyes are. Like, what do you want me to do? Right? And so, you see, you're not supposed to know the how, okay? But you are making yourself comfortable with the feeling of having what you want and making it your normal. That is important, okay? Now, I'll tell you why I'm so proud of this person. You see, I didn't tell her anything. I didn't tell her why I had her practice. I didn't tell her anything. I just said, please do it. And as she did it, and she got frustrated because she thought she was getting no kind of movement, but she was, she was questioning everything. And then her biggest problem with me was, you have to let go of your desire. And that terrified her. Because she's like, no, Sin, if I let go of my desire, I won't get it. And I don't understand what you're saying. There's no way. I can't do that. And I would say over and over again, you don't understand what I'm asking you. I'm not saying give up. I'm saying let it go so you can receive it. The law of circulation means it must return. If everything is you, letting it go so it can return is part of the process. Okay? So here's what happened. She entered the state. Where she was in regular contact with someone that she was in no contact with because she practiced what I told her, which is really cool. Here's why I told her to practice the feeling over and over and over again. Here's what happened. Once she had it, because it wasn't her normal, she self-sabotaged. And she said things that she regrets because she couldn't see that she had entered her state. She was too busy. Sorry, you guys, I think I almost dropped the phone. Hold on. Uh-oh, you guys, hold on. My stand is falling. All right, hold on, I'm getting this right. All right. Okay, my bad. All right, so she entered the state and then sabotaged the state because it didn't feel comfortable to have her desire. So do you see how the reason for making it comfortable is not so that you can pretend all day. It's so that your brain won't argue with you when you enter the state. And the reason I didn't tell you why you have to practice this is because I don't want you to do this for the sole purpose of looking for your desire out there. Because if you're doing that, then you're not focusing on the feeling, you're focusing on getting what you want, so you didn't understand the purpose of what I was doing. All I wanted you to do is get comfortable with the feeling of having your relationship back, of making that your norm, of not sabotaging. Because the truth is, you are constantly looking for yourself, but you are also in comfort. Your brain is hardwired for this. And if you don't understand that, you will ruin your manifestation as soon as you got it back. It's not your norm. It's not your comfort. Now, like I said, manifesting things through feelings is not the only way to do things. It's just the fastest. It's one of the fastest. Okay? Besides no mind, when you don't know what you're doing, that's even faster. But if you have something that you already know what it feels like, make that comfortable. Get used to remembering this person in reverse. Now what you're doing is reclaiming the version of you that was on cloud nine. And here's the thing. You guys are only attracted to this person, whoever this person is, because of how they make you feel when you're with them. So if that's what brought that person to you, why are you not mimicking the state of what you had in order to bring it back? It only makes sense. Match the vibe so you can receive what you want, because it's a mirror. It's a mirror. It's always been a mirror. It'll never not be a mirror. It's a freaking mirror. Okay? And I say this because I recently saw a question and it broke my heart, because if you guys understood everyone as you pushed out, you would understand this so well. But here's why it broke my heart. The question goes as follows. How do I not give up? It appears as if all my friends are getting the things that I want, and it looks like I'm not getting anything. How do I not give up? And that made me so sad, because she didn't understand how perfect that was. Like, legit! She had achieved her state without knowing it. Do you understand what I mean by that? I'll explain. If you are seeing it all around you, everywhere, like other people are getting what you want and it doesn't seem as if you are, that is a giant clue. If you start to feel sad because you see that and you feel envy, that is a giant clue. I said everyone is you pushed out. I said everyone is made in your image. I said it's a motherfucking mirror. So, if you have achieved the state where everyone around you is getting what you want, that means that the reason you don't have it is because you haven't identified with that state. You are existing outside of it, which is the reason everyone around you appears to have what you want. It's great news. It means all you have to do is identify with being them and rejoice with the fact that all of your outer matter is already reflecting the state that you have. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you truly understand everyone as you pushed out, you should be jumping for joy if that's what's happening. But if you're sitting there like, oh, how come everybody has what I don't want? Then you haven't understood everyone as you pushed out. What the fuck? Come on, people. It's your mirror. So, if that is the case, rejoice. Get excited. Get happy, because that means everything is going to happen because of your state, and you have already entered the state, and you need to identify with being that state. Make that bitch your normal and identify with being everything around you, so that everyone acting as the portal to what you want will allow you to be that. Because I don't think you guys understand. The second you identify with being that person, you just entered that experience. That is your portal. Use people as mirrors, as dimensional doors to get into where the fuck you want. Like, that is the reason I defy all laws of the universe. That is the reason. Because people are portals. Every single one of those people are your multidimensional experience on display. And if you are not identifying with being them, then that is why you don't have your result. What the fuck? Come on, people. If you're going to learn everyone as you pushed out, learn it. Be it. Understand it. Let me explain something to you. And this is wild. So God literally plucked me while I was jogging and showed me around heaven, showed me the Hall of Mirrors, showed me the source expression, showed me everything, the whole design behind the veil, showed me everything. And perhaps the most humbling experience I had was discovering I was the source of my experience. I was the constant. There was no escaping the fact that I was literally the light inside every human being I could see with my eyes. I know, that sounds crazy, and yet I swear to God, That is the design. It's true of you. It's true of me. It's true of everyone in the world. You are explained this in Corinthians. In fact, Corinthians tells you it's a mirror. Yep, that whole passage, past point 4-7, and you keep on reading, it will tell you it's a mirror. Have you read that? Did you know that? Did you know Corinthians said that? You probably didn't, right? Okay. God made sure I knew that. So, remember this. If that is the case, if it feels as if other people have what you have and you don't, then that is an indication that you need to identify with being those people so that you can enter the experience, because you are serving as the veil and you are the reason you don't have it. The second you identify with it, you'll enter it. But if you feel bad, that is because your soul is already at the state. And you are the one who is telling it it's not there. And that's why it feels like shit. That's why you're not supposed to envy. Okay? All right. So, back to what I was saying. If you have the advantage of knowing what something feels like, as a coach, what I would tell you is, for no more than 15 minutes a day, 5 minutes before you go to bed, 5 minutes in the morning to set your tone, and 5 minutes when you start to spiral. 15 total, no more than 15, 10 or 15 minutes. That's all I'm asking you to devote. I'm asking you to make the feeling of what you remember your normal, because once you drop this and you let it go because it feels complete, you will absolutely enter the state. And if you are not aware of the fact that you have entered the state, you're going to sabotage it. It's not your normal, so it doesn't feel normal. And that's why if you make it feel normal, your brain won't question where they're at, and you will get to keep your state. The truth is, all manifestation is instant. All of it. If you don't have instant, it's because you're not working the system properly. You're working way too hard. You're parking next to a tree, and then since you can't open the goddamn door, you're going to get out the passenger side and you're going to chop down the tree. You can do that to open your door, but why? Why would you work harder than you need to when it's so simple? All that you're doing when you know the feeling of something is make that your comfortable norm. When you stop focusing on it, because you will reach what's called the void or the Sabbath or the feeling that you just don't want to do that anymore, that is when you drop it. Let it go. Go focus on something else. Go do anything else, because I promise you, you will enter the state. You will hear from your SP. You'll get in regular communication. It'll be like you guys never fought. It'll be like, suddenly they'll be like, oh, I've been thinking about you this whole time. It doesn't matter if you've been in no contact for a year. They'll be like, the whole time I was obsessing about you. And you'll just laugh because you'll know it's you. Okay? I don't know how many different ways to say this. Okay? The shortcut to getting anyone at all, anyone, is to realize that that human being that you think is outside of you is your mirrored reflection. You are its source. It does not exist without you. And so the quickest, fastest way to get anyone back is to remember who the fuck you are. Period. Period. You are their source. It is your radiance you are after. The only reason you want anyone at all is because of how they make you feel when you are with them. So, mimic the feeling of the person who has it already. Think, people. Think. Your brain is absolutely blind. It sits in the dark. It has no idea what's going on except for what you tell it. How you make it feel. Make that your normal, and your brain won't sabotage a thing.
It's designed for comfort after all. Yeah? So can we go back to the basics? If you are using feeling as the secret and you already have a relationship and you're just simply trying to remember, then you have an advantage over others because you already know what something feels like. So milk that puppy. Milk it for all you got. Make that your normal. And I'm giving you my secret sauce because now that you don't need feelings to manifest and you can use no mind, then now I can tell you why I didn't tell you why I was making you do it. Because I don't want you to do it for the sake of looking for something out there because it's not made out there. Okay? It's solidified because it's a mirror of what you're doing on the inside. So if on the inside you're rejecting yourself, if on the inside you're missing somebody, if on the inside you're focused on not having them because you want them so bad, you are the reason for the division. Hello, the separation is not real. You are told this over and over again in the Bible. Now you're told this in quantum entanglement. You're told quantum entanglement. You are told that if a butterfly flaps its wings in the middle of one corner, it affects a star in billions of years in the future because the illusion is separation. So if you are wanting someone, you are committing a sin. Because you are seeing them as separate, and therefore the space that you have between you must exist because that's what you're telling your brain. This is the most basic of basic things. It should be common sense, but for some reason, you guys want to work from a place of lack and say affirmations and do all this hard work and do all this stuff. No. Harness the power of your feelings. Most of you who come to me are empaths, so more than ever, you guys have no excuse to be broke, no excuse to not have love. You've absolutely zero excuses to be rejected. You've zero. And if you don't know who you are, that is the problem. Because you don't recognize yourself when you're looking in the mirror. Because if you had, you'd have your SP. It's that simple. It's that simple. Every single human being is nothing more than your living memories made into specific patterns so that when you see yourself in the mirror, you are working on loving yourself. Now, it looks like you're loving someone else, but you are loving yourself. The self is another body set of experiences that are your living memories. Most of you don't even realize why you're so attracted to someone, right? Well, you're attracted because you're attracted to your own radiance. You are attracted to the potential that happens when this set of experiences meets this set of experiences and can work in harmonic balance. But your reward is the relationship with yourself. That's why source is first, and that is what is mirrored out. That is what is mirrored out regardless. So if you're not working on your source image, if you're not working on the feeling of making that normal, if you're focusing on their absence and you're going, oh, I miss him. Well, of course you do. Does it feel bad? Are you all achy inside and weepy and shit like that? That's by design. I know, sounds crazy, right? And yet it's by design. It's supposed to feel bad because that's your alarm going off, telling you that how you are thinking is working against you. You have a whole emotional body that you can't see, and it's sitting here trying to help you manifest what you want. Use it. Use it. Use it. Okay? I never said you can't have your SP. I said understand yourself so you can understand why you're attracted. And then when you realize it's you, you can have your Princess of Kashi moment. And the second you don't want something, did you see that? Like lightning fast, quick, okay? The second you don't want it, That's how it works. Because the vibe that already has what you want doesn't want it. Why would I want what I already have? You have to match that state. As I said, feeling is not the only way to manifest, but it is a good, quick, and fast way to manifest if you know what something feels like. You should be taking full-on advantage of that, especially if you've already had a relationship with someone and you are attempting to manifest it back. That's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. You harness the feeling, you recall it in reverse, you practice that, you make that your norm. When you reach the Sabbath, when you're tired of doing that and you no longer want to do it anymore, that's the Sabbath, the void. Yeah, you just don't feel like working anymore. Consider that your seed is planted under the ground. You will enter it soon. Okay? And by soon, the reason I say soon is this. Time, you guys, is non-linear. It's one eternal now. What you all do with time is attempt to organize it so you can make sense of it. So you make time like a filing cabinet. Everything goes in a specific order, blah, 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 blah. And that's how you make sense of it, right? Okay, here's the thing about the stupid filing cabinet. You can rearrange those events any which way you want. And a lot of times, if you notice with instant manifestations, not one thing is linear. In fact, the one thing that you totally didn't expect would be the thing that led you to the next moment, that bridge of incidents, right? The one thing you didn't expect, that's what got you there. And it was totally non-sequential. So thinking in a sequential manner is actually what is causing the delay, because you're expecting it to look a certain way, or when it's going to come in, or you're saying to your mind, it's not here yet, it's not here yet, it's not here yet, I can't wait for it to arrive. And so the brain goes, oh, okay, well, we don't want to enter that state yet. Okay? So, I'm not saying that this is the only way to manifest. I'm just saying it's the way that I've done it the fastest, quickest, and easiest because I'm an empath. Our emotional intelligence, through the roof. Through the roof. Okay? Empaths should have jobs coming at them. Empaths are source beings. Everybody is a source being, don't get me wrong, but empaths already realize their oneness because of their connection to all human beings. They realize that they could be in California and the other person could be in Australia, New Zealand, who knows, Africa or whatever, and we can still, if they have a headache, feel it. So time and space are irrelevant. That's why we're here. We teach telepathy. We teach our connection of oneness. We are literally upgrading all of humanity, because this is what they're supposed to be. So in a way, empaths are like from the future. You know, we're multidimensional, but if you haven't realized you're an empath yet, don't worry, it's coming. It's part of the evolution. That's why we're here. Okay? So, as an empath, I'm going to repeat. If you understand this, feeling is the secret to all instant manifestation. If you can make that feeling your norm, if you can make that your thermostat, you can have whatever you want. Now, it is not the only way to manifest. You can use no mind when you don't want to, but if you know what something feels like, you should be harnessing the power of that and making that your normal. Not all the time, not forever incessantly, just no more than 15 minutes, but this will get you your state. And when you reach your Sabbath, you drop it, you let it go, and you will enter your state, but you won't sabotage it because you made that your normal. Okay? And the sabotage, let me tell you something, it's not conscious. You don't realize you've done it until it's over, right? Because it's happening because of your brain. So if you make that your normal, your brain won't do that and you can keep your state, okay? Proof that you enter your state right away is hot and cold behavior.
So you come in and out of states because you're sabotaging or you're doubting what's actually already there. The truth is, manifestation is simply realization. It's already there. It's been there the whole time. I know you can't see it, but it's faith in the unseen to get you there. It doesn't have to make logical sense. So, for those of you that are trying to manifest someone, please take a moment, listen to what I'm saying, practice no more than 15 minutes a day, and when you get tired of practicing, and that could take 1 day, it could take 15 days, it could take 30 days, I don't care. You just feel comfortable until you no longer want it. Okay? When you no longer want it, that is your brain saying, yep, we're here, we arrived. That's your Sabbath. So when you're there, expect to enter your state in the next breath, okay? The problem is, if you haven't understood that, then you're going to hold yourself back by saying, it's not there yet, it's not there yet, it's not there yet. That's why I don't tell you why I told you to practice. That makes sense? That's why I said it. Okay? I'm helping you work with your brain. Your brain is a miraculous thing. It can do a lot of things. So if you harness the power of that feeling and you make it your normal thermostat, you will enter the state, period. That's it. It's not linear. It's not sequential. It doesn't have to make sense, okay? But you do have to harness making that your norm. That has to be your normal, so that when you enter the state, you get to keep it. That's all it is. It's simple, it's easy, and it makes a lot of sense. Okay? Now, you don't always need to feel your way in. Like I said, thanks to Know Mine, we don't need to know. But if you already have that, milk it for all that it's worth. If you already know what it feels like, milk it for all that it's worth. But do it no more than 15 minutes a day, and try to remember that when you're missing someone and it feels bad, it's because it's by design. It should feel bad because right in that moment what you're upholding is the separation that is not there. Your soul knows better and the alarm goes off and feels bad. It feels bad. And your emotional intelligence will tell you when you are incorrect in your perception because it feels bad. And that is your opportunity to stop and remember that you are seeing yourself, not another. That it is a mirror. The more you understand this, everything is drawn. Okay? I promise you. How do I know? I'd like to give myself as an example. I started working for myself, okay? I am not starving. Not one day. Not one day. I did not look for you. I didn't show up naked on your feed. I did not play algorithms. I did not play fancy musical chairs with the latest new tunes. I know how to get people in volume. Don't get it twisted. I know how to do that. I don't want people in volume. I only want the people I can reach. So I get it. Why? Because I'm the source of the experience and I only want to help people that want to do this. I don't want thousands of followers that are going to make me more work than I need. Okay? So, please keep this in mind. Think about it. Remember to make this your norm. Do not obsess about it forever. No more than 10 to 15 minutes. And eventually, when you reach your Sabbath and you've made that your norm, consider that the force that brings them home. Consider that the force that brings them home. I told you, I only have one affirmation and it is true. It is the only thing that makes sure that everything comes to me. And that affirmation is, I am one with God, so I am one with everything.
And it is absolutely true. It is absolutely true. It is a mirror. And I know that you guys have trouble seeing that because you see separation. It's not separate. There's you and your story. Your story is masquerading as another human being. So you owe it to yourself to be kind to your story because that is your baby Christ. And you are God. It's very simple. It's not a mystery. It's what's written in the Bible. Okay? All right. So please take advantage of that. And again, if you don't know how that feels like, just refer to my No Mind. But if you do know, harness that feeling, make it your norm, and your brain won't ruin it. Okay. Love you guys.